It's now been more than a year since Lawrence Smith was arrested and appeared before a judge inside the U.S. federal courthouse in downtown Baltimore. This coming spring, he's scheduled to be back in court before a judge and a jury. This is the video that rocked Baltimore City. Baltimore City Schools police detective and 8-time state champion football coach Lawrence Smith leaving the U.S. federal courthouse after being arrested.
You want to say something to your players, coach? Good example, bad example, what?
Smith is accused of tax violations and using police overtime pay to fraudulently obtain more than $215,000 taxpayer dollars. According to federal court records, his jury trial has now been scheduled for May 12, 2025. If convicted, he faces decades in prison. The indictment alleges what Project Baltimore first reported 8 months prior to Smith's arrest, that he was logging police overtime when he appeared not to be working. We found Facebook Live videos that appear to show Smith driving a boat on the Chesapeake Bay, coaching football, or on vacation when his overtime form said he was working. As Project Baltimore investigated Smith's overtime earnings, we uncovered other potential issues concerning how your tax dollars are being spent. But once Smith was arrested, city schools quit answering many of our questions or releasing records, saying it didn't want to compromise the federal investigation. As a result, there are still significant questions that remain unanswered. Question 1. If Smith is found guilty, will the supervisors who signed off on his overtime forms also be held accountable? When a city schools officer submits an overtime form, it's approved and signed by multiple supervisors. Fox 45 News obtained 857 of Smith's overtime forms.
My vision is one with the 21st century model of cultural transparency and accountability.
This is Lieutenant Danina White in a 2022 City Schools promotional video. White signed 659 of Smith's overtime forms. Lieutenant Alfonso Small signed 462. Many were for overtime Smith claimed to work at COVID sites in the city during the pandemic. In analyzing Smith's overtime forms, we found stretches of time where he claimed to be working, on average, nearly 13 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 42 straight days. Did those hours raise any red flags at North Avenue? Had City Schools just looked at Smith's Facebook page like we did, they would have found many instances where he claimed to be working when it appears he was not. Question 2. What happened to the nearly $500,000 taxpayer dollars paid to City Schools police officers during the COVID pandemic that was never reimbursed by the city? Project Baltimore, last year, obtained this list of police overtime reimbursements that city schools filed with Baltimore City. From July 2020 to July 2021, city schools police officers worked more than $480,000 worth of overtime that was never reimbursed. The school system paid the officers for the overtime, but the city never paid North Avenue back. You have not received reimbursement?
It has not been received by the finance department.
Last year, we tried to get answers from Mayor Brandon Scott, who said the district never submitted the reimbursement. Have you talked to the school system about this? Because they're saying that they put in the reimbursement.
I'm going to say what I said to you one more time. If we receive it, we'll pay it.
We also questioned city schools.
I just simply want to know why $500,000 in police overtime has not been reimbursed to the school system. You know the answer. I don't know why you're not telling me.
How do you know I know the answer?
You as in the school system know the answer.
But North Avenue would not answer our questions. And now a year later, we still have not received an answer.
What are you going to tell your players?
We're told because the district does not want to compromise the federal investigation into Lawrence Smith. We will continue to follow the criminal case against Lawrence Smith as it makes its way through the court system. If the charges do go to trial, Fox 45 will be in court, where hopefully we will get some answers to these questions. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore. I'm Chris Pabst. Thanks for watching. Here's another story to watch. Also, if you have a story idea, please send us a message.